Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At Dumas estate, it's evening, and Phyllis is relieved to run into Nick in the maze and throws her arms around him. She's glad she ran into him instead of anyone else involved. Nick welcomes her to the most exclusive, extravagant, and bizarre party in the world. Sitting, Phyllis learns from Nick that Dumas won't be putting in an appearance until tomorrow. Everyone's getting a little antsy, but no one worse than his dad. Phyllis asks if he lost Sharon behind a hedge. Nick shrugs, she's around here somewhere. He congratulates Phyllis on landing an invitation to the party and asks how she'll sway Dumas. She's there to acquire her own luxury train and chateau. Kyle samples Audra's product. In the maze, Kyle is trying to get cell service when he runs into Audra. She asks if he's lost, or if he followed her. They walk, and Audra asks who he's trying to reach. He says Claire's dad is in the hospital and he wants to check in. Audra hopes Cole will be okay. Kyle realizes she's sincere and asks if she's hoping to reach Nate. She says yes, they have a friend facing cancer and she promised to send lots of pictures. Kyle notes she has a compassionate and kind side. Audra turns the conversation back to their perfume battle. He asks her to show him a sample of her product. She asks, "Are you saying you'll show me yours if I show you mine?" Audra tells Kyle she won't be sharing her perfume with him. The first person to experience it will be Dumas. They banter, but in a friendly way, as she teases that she can't trust him with groundbreaking information. He thinks she might be overselling it, but she assures him that soon, he'll find out just how right she is. Audra tells Kyle the product she has is special and unique. Kyle wants a whiff. He can't set up a lab to copy it there. She argues he can change his product before showing Dumas. Kyle wonders if she even has a product. She reminds him this was her idea and pulls out a perfume bottle. He says anything could be in that bottle. She spritzes it on, and Kyle admits, not bad. Audra wants to know what he really thinks. He admits, it's intoxicating. Near the maze, Diane complains to Jack about Dumas dragging this out and not even showing up. In his study, Dumas watches them all on video feeds. Diane and Jack talk about Victor and Nikki retreating to their private sleeping car. Jack doesn't think this bodes well for the rest of their stay. Diane will admit it's a lot. She suggests they shift their perspective and admire their surroundings. The food was delicious. Diane admits the maze and sleeping in train cars is odd, but nothing totally unpleasant. Jack grunts, except the mustache's presence. She suggests they focus on each other, it's their honeymoon after all. Jack decides she's right and thank her for tuning his mood around. They kiss. Abby's delay. On the train, Damien, Devin and Lily talk about being the last ones in and mention a plane delay. Damien knew Dumas was a bit extra, but not to this extent. Devin marvels about him having a train with private sleeping cars for all the guests. Damien knew he had money but he never pictured anything like this. They go on about Dumas keeping them in suspense, and talk about wanting to discover his motives. Damien thinks it's best to be patient and a little on guard too. Lily's felt unsettled since the minute she stepped onto the train. Devin points out no one knows what to expect. Damien hopes they'll have answers soon. The train stops and Carter appears. Welcome. He introduces himself and Damien tells him he used to work for his boss. Carter knows who he is. He knows who they all are. Tightly, Carter asks about Abby, who is supposed to be with them. Devin explains she'll be flying in on a later flight. Their son got sick. Carter tells them Dumas is detained as well and will arrive tomorrow. The other guests have arrived and will be enjoying cocktails shortly. He urges them to get changed and he'll escort them to the gardens so they can find their way. Lily laughs, what is it, a maze? Carter says they'll see and leads them to their rooms. Sharon gets an eyeful. Still in the maze, Phyllis asks what Nick thinks of this whole situation. Phyllis realizes, it's like a human board game. Starting to panic, she says they're being played with. Nick soothes that she's not in the clinic and isn't being controlled. She says they're being controlled by a rich guy, but it's not Martin Laurent. Nick reassures her and asks if she'll stick around. She thanks him for his calming influence. She will put herself together and maybe this will help with her trauma. Nick's very proud of her, she always finds a way through. Phyllis is glad he's there with her. They embrace and Sharon appears and spots them. Sharon listens as Nick tells Phyllis that Daniel is worried about her as well. He's concerned about her getting involved with a weird businessman. Phyllis isn't bothered. Nick reminds her he's always there for her. Sharon pops out and tells Phyllis she's glad she made it to the party. She asks how she's doing with the maze. Phyllis says she's doing okay. Sharon says in some cultures, walking a labyrinth is healing. Sharon has something to show Nick, and Phyllis tells them she'll make her way to the bar. They part ways and Phyllis looks a little nervous. In the cocktail area, Billy makes Sally a drink and she compliments his bartending skills. They marvel at not seeing any other staff except Carter. They're kissing when Diane and Jack appear asking if cocktail hour has begun. They've started to get the hang of the maze. Billy makes Jack a scotch and they discuss Dumas. Sally thinks they should wait patiently. Diane says that's exactly what she told Jack. She wonders if anyone's seen Kyle. Damien's panic. At the beginning of the maze, Carter tells Lily, Devin and Damien they'll have to find their way through to enjoy the cocktail hour. Damien's dismayed that he won't show them the way. What if they get lost? Carter walks away. Damien looks unsettled as they venture in. As they make their way through, Damien seems stressed and wonders if they can climb the hedges. He calls it a green prison, and Lily realizes something is wrong. He admits he's claustrophobic. He has to get out of there right now. He walks off and Devin and Lily follow as he becomes more frantic, trying to find the exit. Lily gets him doing some deep breathing and convinces him he's not trapped. He marvels that she's so good at anything. Lily's had some experience like this, with a friend in an elevator. Soon, they continue on their way. Diane's suspicions. Kyle and Audra emerge from the maze and join the cocktail hour. They examine the spirits on offer and share a drink. Diane glares. Sally muses, it looks like they found each other in the maze. Sally and Billy walk off and Diane tells Jack she doesn't like what she's seeing with Kyle and Audra. Jack tells her they have to trust their son. Audra and Kyle share a toast as they watch. Jack joins Kyle, who explains he was in the maze trying to get reception to call Claire. He ran into Audra in there, who shared her perfume sample. Unfortunately, it's not bad. He may have his work cut out for him. Nearby, Diane joins Audra at a table and they go over how surreal this all is. Diane questions her not speaking to Victor much. Audra tells her that she got herself invited and Victor trusts her to run Vibrant. She's there solely for the publicity stunt. She and Victor have nothing much to discuss. Audra warns she and Kyle have a lot to coordinate so they'll be spending a lot of time together on this trip. I certainly hope you don't mind. By the maze, Phyllis encounters Sally and Billy. She takes offense to them being surprised she was invited. In the study, Dumas watches the video feeds with Carter, who informs him that Abby Newman is coming on a later flight. Dumas muses, it's almost time. Lily, Devin and Damien finally exit the maze and join the others. Sally wonders if Damien can tell them who Dumas is. He wishes he knew. They chat about Abby being delayed, and Lily joins Damien in getting a drink. Sharon and Nick rejoin the party as well. Phyllis calls, hey. You made it. Nick goes to get drinks for the ladies and greets Devin with a fist bump. Sharon and Phyllis make awkward small talk. At the bar, Kyle tells Nick that the lack of cell service is really getting to him. He wants to get a message to Claire. Audra listens. Nearby, Diane tells Jack that Audra's perfume smells good, really good. But she's convinced she's up to something. I don't trust her. At a table, Damien thanks Lily for making it sound like she stole him from Dumas, rather than him being fired. Lily says they would have hired him anyway. Damien has to wonder why he's there. The others wonder if Dumas is watching them now. Jack thinks it's a cowardly way to do business. Nick muses, if it's even about business. He says if the guy doesn't show his face by morning, he's out of there. Jack's with Nick. Phyllis is staying. This is a big opportunity for her. Damien tells everyone it's a very big deal for Dumas to reveal himself. Billy's with Phyllis. They came all this way to find out his identity. Worst case scenario, it's a luxurious trip, compliments of Dumas. They all cheers. In the study, Carter asks Dumas if he'll still wait until tomorrow to greet the guests. Dumas not sure he can hold out that long. He decides it's time to move things along and tells Carter to get Victor and Nikki, and then let the guests know he's arrived. He also asks Carter to make the call, adding, I need her. Standing, Dumas faces the camera and says, it's time for me to make myself known. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe our Update World 24 YouTube channel for more update news.